Step into a quiet Scottish night, where a gentle rain falls softly on the surface of a serene loch, and mist curls around the distant hills, blurring the world into soft, dreamlike shapes. Inside a cozy cottage, firelight flickers across warm wooden walls, and the soft glow of lanterns casts dancing shadows that invite your mind to relax and your body to release every tension. Wrapped in the comfort of a woolen blanket, the traveler drifts between moments of still observation and quiet reflection, guided by the natural symphony of raindrops, rustling leaves, and the soft murmur of the wind. Every detail, the smooth pebbles along the loch's edge, the delicate flicker of candlelight, the aroma of herbs and warm tea, becomes a gentle lullaby, engaging your senses in a calming, restorative rhythm. The loch mirrors the muted sky, and the hills disappear into the mist, creating a perfect, uninterrupted sense of peace. This immersive, 2-hour sleep story is designed to cradle you in tranquility, helping you release the day's worries, ease your mind, and gently drift into deep, healing sleep, fully embraced by the soothing magic of a rainy Scottish night. Arrival at the loch. The traveler arrived just as the sky began to darken, clouds heavy with the promise of rain. Mist curled over the surface of the Scottish loch, softening the edges of the hills and forests that surrounded it. Each tree seemed to lean into the wind gently, as if settling in for the night, and the loch itself reflected the dim light like liquid glass, rippling faintly with every drop that fell. A small wooden cottage perched at the edge of the water, smoke curling lazily from its stone chimney. Its windows glowed warmly, promising shelter from the evening chill. The traveler stepped onto the narrow path leading to the door, feeling the soft, damp moss underfoot, carrying the subtle scent of pine and earth. The air was fresh, tinged with the coolness of the approaching rain. Every breath felt restorative, as though the night itself was inviting the traveler to slow down, to let go, to simply be. The loch mirrored the clouds above, dark and steady, and yet there was a serenity in its calm presence, as if it had held these waters, and countless travelers, through endless nights of rain. The traveler reached the cottage door, hand hovering over the handle, and felt the quiet anticipation of the night wrapping around them like a gentle blanket. The warmth within. The traveler stepped inside the cottage, and the first thing they noticed was the soft glow of a fire dancing in the hearth. The flames flickered gently, casting golden patterns across the wooden walls and illuminating the simple, comforting furnishings. A thick, woolen rug covered the floor, soft underfoot, and the scent of burning wood mixed with the faint aroma of herbs hanging from the ceiling. Every corner of the cottage seemed designed for calm, no rush, no noise, only a gentle invitation to rest. They settled into a sturdy armchair near the fireplace. The warmth spread slowly, melting the chill from their fingers and toes, as though the cottage itself was breathing kindness into every part of their body. Outside, the first raindrops tapped softly against the window, a soothing rhythm that matched the traveler's own deepening breaths. The sound of the rain was not overwhelming. It was quiet, deliberate, a natural lullaby that harmonized with the fire's soft crackle. The traveler closed their eyes for a moment, letting the combination of warmth, scent, and gentle sound weave a cocoon of comfort around them. In this small cottage by the Scottish Loch, every detail, from the soft rug to the flickering fire to the patter of rain, was a reminder that this night was meant for rest, and that peace could be found simply by noticing the gentle rhythm of the world around them. The window over the loch. After sitting for a while, the traveler turned their gaze toward the window overlooking the loch. The rain had begun to fall steadily now, each droplet creating tiny ripples that spread across the water's surface. The mist rising from the loch blended with the gentle twilight, softening the outlines of distant hills and forests, making everything look like a painted dream. The window framed the scene perfectly, like a living picture, and the traveler felt drawn to it. They pressed a hand lightly against the cool glass, feeling the contrast of warmth inside and the refreshing chill outside. The sound of the rain, steady and rhythmic, seemed to sing directly to their heart, slowing thoughts and inviting a sense of ease. A small rowboat floated gently near the shore, bobbing with the subtle movements of the water. It looked abandoned, yet perfectly serene, resting as if it, too, had surrendered to the night. The traveler watched, mesmerized, feeling the quiet magic of this rainy Scottish evening seep into their spirit. It was a view that did not demand anything. It simply existed, offering tranquility. A gentle reminder that sometimes the simplest scenes, a quiet loch, falling rain, and distant hills, could hold the deepest peace. The hearth and the tea. Drawn away from the window, the traveler turned toward the hearth once more. The fire glowed steadily, its warmth inviting them closer. On a small wooden table beside the armchair, a kettle began to whistle softly, sending curls of fragrant steam into the air. The aroma was soothing, herbs steeped gently, releasing hints of chamomile and mint that blended perfectly with the earthy scent of the rain outside. The traveler poured the hot tea into a cup, cradling it between their hands. The warmth seeped through their palms, spreading slowly, relaxing shoulders, and easing the tension of the day. Each sip was smooth, calming, and infused with the gentle rhythm of the cottage itself. As they sat sipping, the firelight flickered across the walls, highlighting shelves lined with books and simple trinkets, a carved wooden bird, a small bundle of dried lavender, a smooth pebble from the loch's edge. Every object seemed chosen with care, placed to offer comfort rather than distraction. Outside, the rain continued its soft symphony, now harmonizing perfectly with the crackle of the fire and the gentle hum of the kettle. The traveler closed their eyes for a moment, letting the sensory lullaby of warmth, scent, and sound wrap around them like a blanket, deepening their sense of peace. The soft light of lanterns. As the rain fell steadily outside, the traveler's gaze drifted to a corner of the cottage where a pair of lanterns glowed softly. Their light was gentle, not bright enough to disturb the calm, but enough to create pools of warmth across the wooden floor. The lanterns seemed alive in their quiet way. One flickered slightly, like it was breathing, the other radiated a steady, reassuring glow. Together, they cast soft shadows that danced slowly on the walls, echoing the rhythm of the rain and the crackle of the fire. The traveler moved closer, drawn by their comforting presence. Each lantern seemed to whisper a silent promise: "You are safe. You are held. You may rest." Sitting nearby, the traveler felt the glow seep into their being, wrapping around them like a soft, protective blanket. Outside, the loch mirrored the lantern light faintly through the mist, turning the water into a subtle reflection of the cottage's warmth. The combination of fire, lanterns, and rain created a harmony that was almost musical, an invisible melody designed for relaxation, for letting go, for surrendering to the gentle rhythm of the night. The traveler breathed deeply, feeling the cottage cradle them in every possible way. The soft light, the warm tea, the lullaby of rain, it all wove together into a perfect cocoon of calm. The rain on the loch. The traveler returned their gaze to the window, watching the rain ripple across the surface of the loch. Each droplet created tiny rings that expanded and faded, blending into the soft mist rising from the water. The hills in the distance seemed to sway gently with the rhythm of the rain, their dark shapes softened by the evening haze. The loch reflected the muted sky above, its surface a mirror of gray and silver, touched by occasional flashes of reflected lantern light from the cottage. The traveler could almost hear the water breathing, slow and steady, matching their own deepening breath. They pressed a hand lightly against the cool glass, feeling the contrast between the warmth inside and the fresh chill outside. The sound of the rain was hypnotic, a steady, soothing cadence that seemed to cleanse the mind as much as the air around them. In this moment, time seemed to stretch, elongated by the gentle rhythm of water and sky. The traveler felt themselves relaxing further, their thoughts slowing, their body melting into the comfort of the cottage. Here, by the Scottish loch on a rainy night, peace was not something to seek, it simply was. The shelf of quiet treasures. As the traveler stepped back from the window, their eyes fell upon a wooden shelf along the wall. It was simple, yet every item on it seemed to radiate calm. Small jars filled with dried herbs, a few smooth stones collected from the loch's edge, and delicate shells whispered of nature and quiet moments. The traveler picked up a jar of dried lavender, inhaling its soft, floral scent. It carried a subtle warmth, a memory of sunlit days and gentle breezes, and it made the chest expand with ease. Next, their fingers brushed a small polished stone, cool and smooth, grounding them to the present moment. Each object was simple, yet each held a story, an echo of peace waiting to be shared. The firelight flickered across the shelf, creating shadows that danced slowly, as though the objects themselves were breathing alongside the traveler. Outside, the rain continued its gentle symphony, perfectly in harmony with the quiet rhythm inside the cottage. Sitting down with a small collection of these treasures in hand, the traveler felt a profound sense of connection to the cottage, to the loch, and to the slow, nurturing pace of the night. Every breath, every small detail, reminded them that serenity could be found in the simplest of things. The whispering wind. The traveler returned to the window, watching the rain still falling in soft, steady streams. Through the mist, a gentle breeze whispered across the loch, rustling the leaves of nearby trees and carrying the faint scent of wet earth and pine. Each gust seemed to brush softly against the traveler's skin, mingling with the warmth from the fire inside, creating a balance of cool and cozy that was deeply comforting. The loch shimmered faintly under the gray sky, reflecting the muted lantern light from the cottage and the soft glow of the moon peeking through clouds. Each ripple on the water seemed to move in harmony with the wind, creating a quiet, flowing rhythm that eased the travelers' thoughts and slowed their breath. They pressed a hand lightly to the glass, feeling the contrast of the chill outside and the warmth inside. The wind seemed to whisper through the windowpane, as if carrying secrets of the night, stories of serenity and patience, reminding the traveler that there was a calmness in simply being present. The traveler sank into the armchair, wrapped in a soft blanket, letting the wind, rain, and fire become one gentle lullaby. In this moment, every sound and sensation invited them to let go completely and simply rest. The misty reflections. The traveler gazed at the loch as the mist thickened, curling across the water like slow-moving clouds. Each ripple reflected the soft glow of the cottage lights, creating patterns that shimmered and shifted, like a quiet dance of silver and gray. The scene was hypnotic, and the traveler felt their thoughts softening, drifting with the ebb and flow of the water. Raindrops fell steadily, each one creating concentric circles that spread and faded, merging with the mist until the loch seemed like a vast, living painting. The hills in the distance blurred into soft silhouettes, their dark forms cradled by the fog. There was no hurry, no sound except the rain, the occasional rustle of leaves, and the gentle hum of the cottage behind them. The traveler leaned closer to the window, breathing deeply. The cold of the mist, the warmth from the fire, and the scent of damp earth all blended into a sensation of perfect balance. Every tension in the body seemed to dissolve, as if the loch itself was absorbing the weight of the day. In this moment, the traveler realized that some nights are meant not to be noticed, but simply experienced, each drop of rain, each ripple, each whisper of mist a note in a lullaby composed by the loch itself. The gentle glow of the fireplace. The traveler shifted back toward the warmth of the cottage, drawn by the gentle crackle of the fireplace. The flames flickered softly, casting dancing shadows across the wooden beams and stone walls. The glow was golden and steady, not harsh or demanding, but warm enough to melt away any lingering tension from the long day. A soft, woolen blanket lay draped over the armchair, and the traveler wrapped it around their shoulders. The fabric was thick and comforting, holding them in a gentle embrace that seemed to echo the quiet rhythm of the loch outside. The scent of burning wood mingled with the faint herbal aroma from the tea they had set aside, creating a cocoon of comfort. The fire's warmth seeped slowly into their body, loosening tight muscles and calming the heart. Outside, the rain continued its steady lullaby, but now it felt even more distant, softened by the protective glow of the cottage. Every sound, the whisper of rain, the crackle of flames, the gentle hum of the wind, blended together into a peaceful symphony. Settling deeper into the chair, the traveler closed their eyes for a moment. In this quiet, golden space, every breath became slower, every thought gentler. The cottage, the loch, and the night had come together to form a perfect sanctuary, inviting rest and serenity. The wooden shelf of memories. As the traveler relaxed by the fire, their gaze wandered toward a wooden shelf along the wall. It held a collection of small objects, each simple, yet carrying a sense of calm and history. A smooth pebble from the loch's edge, a tiny carved bird, a bundle of dried wildflowers, all seemed carefully placed to inspire peace rather than clutter. The traveler reached out, lifting the pebble first. Its surface was cool and worn, fitting perfectly in their hand, grounding them in the present moment. The carved bird caught the firelight, its smooth curves reflecting a gentle shimmer, like a reminder of the quiet beauty in the world. The dried flowers released a faint herbal fragrance, blending with the warmth of the hearth and the scent of rain outside. Each object on the shelf seemed to tell a story of calm nights, soft rain, and simple pleasures. Sitting in the armchair, wrapped in the woolen blanket, the traveler felt a wave of serenity wash over them. Every detail, the crackle of the fire, the rain pattering on the roof, the subtle glow of lanterns, came together to form a perfect, tranquil environment. For the traveler, the shelf was more than a collection of objects. It was a reminder that even the smallest things, when noticed, could carry profound comfort, helping the heart relax and the mind soften. The gentle rain lullaby. The traveler leaned back in the armchair, wrapped in the soft woolen blanket, and let their eyes wander once more toward the window. Outside, the rain had grown into a steady, gentle rhythm, each droplet tapping the roof and the loch with delicate precision. The sound was soft and consistent, a natural lullaby that seemed to carry the world's worries away with it. Mist swirled over the water, blurring the distant hills into smooth, shadowy shapes. The loch glimmered faintly, reflecting the cottage's warm light like a gentle promise. The traveler's breath slowed, matching the rhythm of the rain, and a feeling of complete ease settled over their body. Inside, the fire flickered softly, complementing the natural music outside. The warmth from the hearth, the scent of the tea, and the blanket around their shoulders combined with the rain's steady whisper, creating a cocoon of calm. The traveler closed their eyes, letting the melody of the rainy night wash over them. Every drop, every ripple, every rustle of leaves became a note in this peaceful symphony. In that moment, there was nothing to do, nowhere to be, only the gentle embrace of the night, the loch, and the cozy cottage. The candlelight glow. The traveler's eyes drifted from the window to a small candle flickering on the table beside the armchair. Its flame was tiny yet steady, casting a warm, golden light that danced softly across the walls. The gentle glow seemed to breathe along with the traveler's own heartbeat, filling the room with a sense of quiet presence. The rain outside created a soft percussion, a gentle accompaniment to the candle's flicker. Shadows shifted slowly across the floor, stretching and folding back in a calming rhythm, as if the room itself were alive with serenity. The traveler traced the patterns of light with their gaze, letting the delicate play of shadows soothe the mind. A small breeze from the slightly open window carried the scent of wet pine and mist, intertwining with the faint aroma of herbs and tea. Every inhalation seemed to calm the chest, release tension from the shoulders, and ease the muscles of the face. Sitting quietly, wrapped in the warmth of the fire and blanket, the traveler felt the night embracing them completely. Between the candlelight, the rain, and the gentle hum of the cottage, there was nothing to do but rest, nothing to think about, only the still, comforting presence of the Scottish loch and the safe haven of the cottage. The soft murmur of the forest. The traveler turned their gaze beyond the loch, noticing the outline of the forest in the distance. The rain had softened the edges of the trees, and a gentle murmur rose from the woods, a mixture of dripping leaves, rustling branches, and the occasional whisper of the wind. It was a quiet, melodic sound that blended seamlessly with the steady patter on the cottage roof and the loch's gentle ripples. Every note of this natural symphony seemed to settle into the traveler's chest, loosening the tightness of the day. Their eyes followed the shadows and shapes, moving slowly, noticing the subtle dance of rain upon each leaf. Each movement, each sound, carried a soft rhythm, a reminder that even in the quietest places, life continued in gentle harmony. The warmth of the cottage behind them contrasted with the cool, misty scent of the forest outside, creating a perfect balance. Wrapped in their blanket, the traveler sipped the remaining tea, letting the flavors mingle with the aroma of wet earth and pine. For a long moment, they simply sat, letting the combined sounds, the rain, the loch, the fire, and the whispering forest, form an invisible lullaby. In that delicate blend of elements, the traveler felt a deep, unspoken promise, that here, in this rainy Scottish night, peace was present, patient, and abundant. The quilted armchair. The traveler shifted deeper into the armchair, noticing its quilted cushions that seemed to mold perfectly around their body. Each stitch, each layer of fabric, whispered comfort, as if the chair itself had been crafted to hold weary travelers through long, rainy nights. They wrapped the soft woolen blanket tighter around their shoulders, feeling the warmth spread slowly, settling into every corner of their body. The firelight flickered gently, reflecting off the polished wood of the table and the soft glow of the candle nearby. Each shadow and flicker created a quiet rhythm, soothing and steady, like the gentle ebb of the loch outside. Sipping the warm tea once more, the traveler felt the liquid's warmth fill their chest, moving slowly down to their belly and back out to the fingertips. The taste was calm, subtle, comforting, and perfectly attuned to the quiet symphony of rain, wind, and fire. As they sank further into the armchair, eyes half closed, the traveler noticed how perfectly the cottage seemed designed for this very moment, a space where the body could fully relax, the mind could release its thoughts, and the soul could feel enveloped by the gentle embrace of a rainy Scottish night. The window seat by the fire. After a while, the traveler moved to a small window seat near the fire, a cozy nook cushioned with soft pillows and warm blankets. From this spot, the view of the loch was even more captivating. The rain fell steadily, rippling the water's surface, while mist curled over the hills like delicate smoke. The warmth from the fireplace brushed against their back, while the scent of wet pine and earth drifted in through the slightly open window. The combination was perfect, a gentle contrast of warmth and coolness, of firelight and rain, of safety and the quiet mystery of nature beyond. Wrapped in blankets and holding the last sip of tea, the traveler let their mind wander slowly, noticing the smallest details, the way raindrops slid down the windowpane, the soft rustle of leaves in the distance, and the loch reflecting the soft glow of the cottage lights. Each detail became part of a soothing rhythm, a quiet lullaby that seemed designed solely to calm the body and mind. In this moment, there was nothing to do, nowhere to go. The traveler simply existed, cradled by the cottage, soothed by the loch, and embraced by the gentle music of rain. It was a pause, a sanctuary, a reminder that rest was always waiting, if only one allowed it to arrive. The soft glow of twilight. The traveler leaned back into the window seat, letting their gaze drift across the loch as twilight deepened. The sky had shifted into muted shades of indigo and gray, clouds heavy with rain and mist curling softly around the hills. Each ripple on the water mirrored the changing light, creating a liquid tapestry that shimmered in quiet, gentle waves. The fire crackled beside them, a comforting counterpoint to the soft, rhythmic tapping of rain on the roof. Its warmth seeped into their shoulders and arms, balancing the cool breath of the evening air that drifted in through the slightly open window. Wrapped in the blanket, the traveler felt the contrast of temperatures as a subtle, comforting hug from the night itself. They sipped the last of the tea, its gentle warmth lingering as they closed their eyes briefly. Each sound, the rain, the fire, the whispering wind, wove together into a lullaby that reached deep into the body and mind. Every worry, every tension, seemed to dissolve, replaced by the vast, calm presence of the loch and the quiet safety of the cottage. In this serene twilight, the traveler realized how fully the night could embrace them, a moment suspended in stillness, a sanctuary where rest was not only allowed, but invited. The gentle rhythm of the night. The traveler settled more comfortably into the window seat, listening to the steady rhythm of the rain falling upon the loch. Each droplet seemed to carry a soft, deliberate message: slow down. Breathe. Rest. The mist over the water curled like gentle smoke, blurring the outlines of distant hills and trees, creating a dreamlike landscape that felt both intimate and vast. The warmth from the fireplace wrapped around the traveler like a gentle hug, perfectly balancing the coolness drifting in from the open window. The scent of wet pine mingled with the faint aroma of herbs and tea, weaving a sensory lullaby that touched every part of the body. As the traveler closed their eyes briefly, they felt the rhythm of the night synchronize with their own heartbeat. The loch, the rain, the wind, and the gentle flicker of candlelight created a harmonious symphony of peace. Each sound and sensation invited them to release the tensions of the day, to let go of thoughts, and to simply be present in this perfect, calming moment. Here, on a rainy Scottish night by the loch, wrapped in warmth and enveloped in serenity, the traveler felt a rare, quiet joy, the comfort of being fully at peace in a world that moved at its own gentle rhythm. The misted hills. The traveler shifted slightly in the window seat, gazing out at the misted hills that rose gently beyond the loch. The rain had softened every outline, wrapping the hills in layers of silver-gray fog. Trees appeared as blurred silhouettes, their leaves glistening with droplets that caught the faint glow of the cottage lights. The loch mirrored the sky perfectly, a calm, rippling expanse that seemed to hold the world in gentle suspension. Each ripple moved in harmony with the rain, as if the water itself were breathing slowly, inviting the traveler to do the same. Inside the cottage, the warmth of the fire and the soft glow of the lanterns created a cozy cocoon. The aroma of wet pine and herbs mingled with the subtle scent of the woolen blanket, weaving a blanket of calm over every muscle, every thought. The traveler closed their eyes briefly, letting the misted hills, the quiet loch, and the rhythmic rain guide them toward stillness. Each breath became slower, each heartbeat gentler, until it felt as though the night itself was cradling them. In that serene moment, there was no need for words, no need for movement, only the simple, perfect presence of peace. The rowboat by the shore. The traveler's eyes wandered to the loch's edge, where a small wooden rowboat floated gently, rocking with the rhythm of the raindrops. The mist curled around its edges, softening its shape until it seemed more like a dream than a vessel. The boat rested peacefully, unmoving yet alive with the quiet pulse of the water beneath it. Each ripple on the loch mirrored the cottage's warm glow, creating a delicate interplay of light and shadow. The traveler imagined drifting in that boat, carried slowly by the gentle waves, the rain above forming a quiet canopy. The thought brought a serene smile. The loch itself seemed to promise rest and tranquility. Back inside, the fire's warmth and the soft glow of lanterns formed a gentle cocoon around the traveler. Wrapped in their blanket, holding the lingering warmth of tea, they let the scene outside seep into their thoughts. The rhythm of the rowboat, the misty hills, the steady rainfall, all blended into a perfect lullaby of calm. For a long moment, the traveler simply watched and breathed, allowing the quiet magic of the Scottish night by the loch to guide every sense toward serenity. Here, nothing was hurried, nothing was demanded, only the soft, unbroken peace of a rainy evening. The whisper of the trees. The traveler turned their gaze slightly beyond the loch, noticing the trees along the shore swaying gently in the evening breeze. Each branch moved slowly, letting the rain drip from its leaves in soft, rhythmic taps. The sound was subtle, almost like a whisper, blending seamlessly with the steady patter on the cottage roof and the gentle lapping of water against the shore. The mist clung to the treetops, softening every edge and creating a sense of depth and mystery. Shadows moved slowly, stretching and folding in a natural, unhurried rhythm, inviting the traveler to breathe deeper and release the weight of the day. Inside, the warmth from the fire and the glow of the lanterns wrapped the traveler in a protective embrace. The scent of herbs, wet earth, and pine lingered, harmonizing with the sights and sounds of the rain-soaked night outside. Every element of the cottage and loch seemed perfectly aligned, creating a sanctuary where the mind could finally rest. The traveler leaned back in the window seat, eyes half closed, letting the whispers of the trees, the rhythm of the rain, and the soft glow of the fire lull them further into calm. In this delicate harmony, the night felt endless, serene, and utterly safe. The silvered ripples. The traveler's eyes returned to the loch, captivated by the delicate ripples shimmering under the soft glow of the cottage lights. Each raindrop formed tiny circles that spread and merged, creating a silvered pattern that seemed alive with gentle motion. The water's surface mirrored the misty hills above, blending the sky, the land, and the loch into one serene, flowing canvas. The sound of the rain on the water was hypnotic, steady and soothing, like a lullaby designed to quiet the mind. The traveler leaned lightly against the window, feeling the coolness of the glass mixed with the warmth from the fire behind them. Every inhale carried the faint scent of wet pine, mingling with the soft aroma of the tea still resting on the table. The loch seemed to breathe in harmony with the traveler, each ripple, each shimmer, and each whisper of the breeze aligning with their own slow, steady heartbeat. In this seamless blend of sight, sound, and scent, the traveler felt the tensions of the day dissolve completely. Wrapped in the cocoon of firelight, blanket, and the gentle music of the night, the traveler surrendered fully to the quiet magic of the Scottish loch, letting the silvered ripples guide them toward deep rest and serenity. The candlelit corner. The traveler shifted back inside the cottage, drawn to a small corner illuminated by the soft glow of a candle. Its flame flickered gently, casting golden, dancing patterns across the wooden walls. The shadows moved slowly, almost like breathing companions, mirroring the steady rhythm of the rain outside. Wrapped in the warm woolen blanket, the traveler sank into the chair beside the candle. The scent of melting wax mixed subtly with the herbal aroma of tea and the faint hint of wet pine drifting from the open window. Every inhalation felt like a gentle massage for the mind, releasing thoughts and soothing lingering tensions. The fire crackled softly in the hearth, and together with the candle's glow and the lullaby of raindrops, the cottage seemed to hum a quiet, restorative melody. Each sound, each movement of light, invited the traveler to let go of every worry, every rush of the day. Sitting in this candlelit corner, the traveler felt completely held by the night. The loch, the rain, the flickering fire, and the soft candlelight had combined into a gentle embrace, a cocoon of warmth and serenity where rest was not only welcomed, it was inevitable. The soft murmur of the cottage. The traveler sank deeper into the armchair, wrapped snugly in the woolen blanket, and listened closely to the subtle sounds of the cottage. The fire crackled and popped gently, sending occasional sparks dancing across the hearth. The rain tapped steadily on the roof and windows, a constant, soothing rhythm that seemed to pulse in harmony with the traveler's own heartbeat. From the corner of the room came the faint creak of wooden beams, stretching and settling in the cool night air. Every sound was soft, measured, and full of quiet character, as if the cottage itself were alive and breathing alongside the traveler. They sipped the last of the warm tea, feeling the liquid's gentle heat radiate through their chest and settle deep within. The aroma of herbs, the scent of the rain, and the warmth of the fire blended together in a sensory lullaby that enveloped the mind, body, and spirit. In this gentle cocoon of sound, scent, and warmth, the traveler felt all remaining tension dissolve. The cottage, the loch outside, and the rain above had woven themselves into a sanctuary of serenity. Here, every heartbeat, every breath, every glance out the window invited rest, calm, and the soft embrace of night. The misty reflections. The traveler returned their gaze to the loch, mesmerized by the mist curling across its surface. The rain fell steadily, creating tiny ripples that spread outward and faded, blending seamlessly with the gentle fog. The distant hills were softened into shadowy shapes, their outlines almost disappearing into the quiet gray of evening. The loch reflected the warm glow of the cottage lanterns and the soft flicker of the fire, turning the water into a gentle mirror of comfort. Each ripple seemed to breathe slowly, carrying the soothing rhythm of the night into the traveler's very being. Wrapped in the woolen blanket, the traveler sipped the last of the tea and leaned against the windowpane. The combination of warmth inside and cool mist outside created a perfect balance, a gentle ebb and flow that mirrored the natural rhythm of breath and heartbeat. The rain, the loch, and the flickering lights of the cottage all worked together in harmony, inviting the traveler to sink further into calm. In this quiet, misty reflection, the traveler felt every tension dissolve, replaced by the deep, restorative peace of a Scottish night by the water. The lanterns along the path. The traveler's eyes wandered to the small path leading from the cottage to the edge of the loch. Along the way, a few lanterns glowed softly, casting pools of warm light onto the wet stones and moss. Each lantern flickered gently, their flames moving as if breathing with the rhythm of the night. The rain fell lightly now, a soft, steady murmur that blended with the occasional rustle of leaves and the distant ripple of the loch. The traveler imagined walking along the lantern-lit path, feeling each step soften with the damp earth beneath, guided by the gentle glow that seemed to promise safety, serenity, and rest. Inside, the warmth from the fire and the lingering scent of herbs and tea created a cocoon that mirrored the tranquility outside. The traveler leaned back in the armchair, wrapped in the woolen blanket, and let their imagination wander along the glowing path. Each lantern became a tiny beacon of calm, reflecting the stillness of the loch and the quiet magic of the misty hills. In that moment, the traveler realized that both the inside and outside of the cottage were perfectly aligned to nurture peace. The rain, the loch, the lanterns, and the warmth of the fire all wove together into a seamless lullaby, inviting the traveler to rest deeply and dream gently. The soft whisper of the wind. The traveler turned once again toward the window, watching the rain fall in soft, rhythmic streams over the loch. A gentle breeze drifted in, carrying with it the scent of wet pine and earth. Each gust seemed to move with intention, brushing lightly against the traveler's face, as if the night itself were whispering a lullaby. The loch reflected the muted gray sky, its surface rippling slowly with the steady rhythm of rainfall. In the distance, mist curled around the hills and trees, softening every edge and creating a dreamlike, almost magical landscape. The traveler felt themselves sinking deeper into the calm, their breaths matching the natural cadence of the night. Inside, the fire flickered gently, casting a warm, golden glow that blended with the soft light of the lanterns. The woolen blanket around the traveler's shoulders seemed to absorb every sound and movement, holding them in a cocoon of quiet. In this serene moment, the wind, the rain, the loch, and the comforting warmth of the cottage all combined into a perfect harmony. The traveler closed their eyes and let the soft whisper of the wind guide them further into tranquility, allowing their body, mind, and spirit to rest completely. The gentle flicker. The traveler's gaze drifted to the fireplace, where the flames flickered softly, casting warm, dancing shadows across the wooden walls. Each movement was slow and deliberate, a quiet performance of light and shadow that seemed to echo the rhythm of the rain outside. Wrapped in their woolen blanket, the traveler leaned back, letting the warmth of the fire seep into every part of their body. The gentle flicker of light, combined with the soft patter of raindrops on the roof, created a soothing symphony of calm. Each shadow stretched and folded, wrapping the room in a quiet, gentle embrace. The aroma of burning wood mixed with the lingering scent of herbs and tea, filling the space with subtle, comforting fragrances. Every inhalation felt restorative, loosening tension and quieting restless thoughts. Outside, the loch reflected the soft light of the cottage, rippling gently under the falling rain. Inside, the traveler felt completely held by the warmth, the glow, and the gentle rhythm of the night. In that perfect balance of light and sound, they felt a profound sense of peace, a reminder that rest could be found in the simplest, most delicate moments. The rain-kissed windows. The traveler shifted slightly, turning their attention to the rain-slicked windows of the cottage. Each droplet traced slow, winding paths down the glass, merging with others to form delicate streams that seemed almost musical in their rhythm. The misty hills beyond were softened further, blending into a quiet, silvery haze that made the world feel suspended in time. The loch mirrored the darkened sky and the glowing lights of the cottage, rippling gently with each falling raindrop. The traveler rested a hand against the cool glass, feeling the contrast between the warmth inside and the refreshing chill outside. Every sound, the patter of rain, the crackle of the fire, the occasional whisper of wind, wove together into a delicate, natural lullaby. Wrapped in the woolen blanket and leaning back in the armchair, the traveler let their mind drift with the rhythm of the night. Each droplet, each shimmer on the water, each shadow flickering from the fire became a note in this symphony of calm. In that quiet, rain-kissed moment, the traveler felt completely at peace, held gently by the Scottish night, the loch, and the comforting embrace of the cottage. The cozy silence. The traveler sank deeper into the armchair, wrapped snugly in the woolen blanket. The cottage was quiet now, filled only with the gentle sounds of the night. The fire crackled softly, sending warm flickers of light across the wooden walls, while the rain pattered steadily on the roof, a soothing, rhythmic lullaby. Outside, the loch rippled gently under the steady drizzle, mist curling lazily over the hills and trees. The traveler could hear the faint whisper of wind moving through the distant forest, a soft, harmonious counterpoint to the rain. Each sound, each flicker of light, seemed carefully designed to ease the mind and calm the body. They closed their eyes, letting the quiet of the cottage wrap around them like a protective embrace. The warmth of the fire, the scent of herbs and tea, the woolen blanket, and the gentle rain all combined into a cocoon of serenity. The traveler felt every tension melt away, replaced by a profound sense of peace and contentment. In the cozy silence of the Scottish night, by the loch and within the comforting walls of the cottage, the traveler realized that this was what true rest felt like, a gentle pause, a quiet moment of perfect harmony, where nothing else mattered but the soft embrace of the present. The soft murmurs of the night. The traveler rested in the armchair, letting the gentle warmth of the fire seep into every muscle. The rain continued its steady rhythm outside, each drop like a soft drumbeat that synchronized with the traveler's slowing breath. Mist curled over the loch, blurring the distant hills into soft silhouettes, while the wind whispered quietly through the trees. Inside the cottage, the flickering lanterns and the soft glow of the fireplace created a tranquil ambience, a quiet cocoon that seemed to stretch time itself. The traveler listened to the subtle symphony of the night, the rain, the loch, the wind, and the occasional creak of wooden beams, allowing each sound to soothe and calm. Wrapped in the woolen blanket, the traveler closed their eyes briefly, letting the gentle rhythms of the night guide them deeper into serenity. Every sensation, the warmth, the sound, the faint aroma of herbs and pine, wove together into a seamless experience of peace. In this perfect harmony of fire, rain, and mist, the traveler felt completely embraced by the night. Each heartbeat, each breath, was a gentle reminder that the world could be still, calm, and perfectly serene if only one allowed themselves to fully experience it. The misty shoreline. The traveler turned their gaze once more to the loch, noticing how the mist hovered low along the shoreline, softening the edges of rocks and reeds. Each ripple from a raindrop seemed to shimmer silver in the faint glow of the cottage lights. The scene was quiet, almost suspended in time, inviting the traveler to simply watch and breathe. The wind whispered gently through the distant trees, carrying the faint, earthy scent of rain-soaked pine and moss. Inside the cottage, the warmth of the fire contrasted beautifully with the cool, fresh air drifting through the slightly open window. Every breath the traveler took seemed to mingle with the rhythm of the rain, sinking mind, body, and spirit to the tranquil night. Wrapped in the woolen blanket and seated comfortably in the armchair, the traveler allowed their thoughts to drift like the mist across the loch. Each sound, each shimmer on the water, became part of a quiet lullaby that invited the deepest rest. The gentle harmony of light, warmth, rain, and mist filled the space completely, leaving nothing but serene stillness. In this quiet moment, the traveler felt utterly at peace, cradled by the cottage, the loch, and the soft embrace of a rainy Scottish night. The candle's gentle dance. The traveler's eyes drifted back to the small candle flickering softly on the table beside the armchair. Its light wavered and danced, casting gentle shadows across the walls and ceiling. The movement was slow and unhurried, perfectly in sync with the rhythm of the rain falling outside. Wrapped snugly in the woolen blanket, the traveler let their gaze follow the flickering patterns, feeling a gentle calm spread through the body. The warmth of the fire, the soft hum of the rain, and the subtle scent of the candle mixed with the lingering aroma of herbs and tea, creating a perfect sensory cocoon. Outside, the loch rippled softly under the rain, mist curling over the distant hills and trees. The world felt slowed down, suspended in a quiet, magical balance where every detail invited serenity. The traveler closed their eyes briefly, letting the candle's gentle dance guide them deeper into the stillness of the night. In that luminous, tranquil corner of the cottage, the traveler felt completely embraced by the harmony of the elements, fire, water, rain, and gentle light all coming together to create a sanctuary of peace and restorative calm. The night's embrace. The traveler settled fully into the window seat, wrapped in the soft woolen blanket, and let their eyes wander across the loch one final time before night deepened. The rain fell steadily, each droplet creating tiny ripples that shimmered like silver threads on the water. Mist drifted across the hills and trees, softening every edge, blending everything into a peaceful, dreamlike scene. Inside the cottage, the warmth of the fire and the gentle glow of lanterns filled the room with a comforting light. The subtle aroma of herbs and tea mingled with the faint scent of rain and pine, wrapping the traveler in a cocoon of calm. Every sound, the crackle of the fire, the soft patter of rain, the whisper of wind, melded into a serene symphony that invited the traveler to release every worry, every thought, and simply exist in this perfect moment. The traveler closed their eyes, letting the harmony of warmth, light, mist, and rain carry them toward restful stillness. The loch, the hills, the cottage, and the night itself seemed to breathe around them, embracing them with an unwavering sense of peace. In that tender, quiet embrace, the traveler felt the deepest rest, a serene lullaby woven by nature and the comforting sanctuary of the cottage. The final lullaby. The traveler sank completely into the cozy armchair, the woolen blanket wrapped snugly around them. The fire flickered softly, casting golden light across the room, while the rain continued its gentle, steady rhythm outside. The loch mirrored the muted glow of the cottage, rippling slowly with each drop that fell. Every element of the night, the warmth of the fire, the soft scent of herbs and tea, the whisper of wind through distant trees, the flickering lanterns, and the gentle patter of rain, blended together into a perfect, immersive lullaby. The traveler felt every tension, every thought, dissolve, replaced by a profound sense of calm and serenity. The mist over the loch moved lazily, carrying with it the quiet magic of the night. The hills and trees faded softly into the background, leaving only the gentle harmony of rain, water, and firelight. The traveler closed their eyes fully, breathing in sync with the natural rhythm surrounding them, feeling as if the night itself were rocking them gently toward sleep. In this final moment, the cottage, the loch, and the Scottish night held the traveler completely. There was no hurry, no disturbance, only the deep, restorative peace of a world perfectly aligned with the heart and mind. And as the fire crackled softly and the rain whispered its final notes of the night, the traveler drifted fully into the most serene, healing sleep, cradled by the embrace of the world around them.